Hi there, it's Chris Henry, the Southern Gospel Gardener. Thanks for joining me today on this episode. And today we're going to be looking at a quartet that you may not know much about, but you need to learn more about, and that's Liberty Quartet from Boise, Idaho. They've got an album called God's Been Faithful. And this is a great album. It's full of great songs, great music, great singing. And if you don't have this album, you'll need to go pick it up soon because you won't regret it. And you need to see these fellas in concert when they're in your area. Also today, we're going to be working in the yard with some tropical plants. Now, me and my wife just got back from our 10th anniversary trip from a little place called Maui. And we really love the tropical feel that's there, and all the plants and things that are there that make it look and feel tropical. Now obviously we don't want it to be hot and humid here all the time, but we do want to add some of those tropical plants, a little bit of tropical flair to the yard. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So come on, let's go get to work and see what we can get done.
I'm not giving in to giving up, I'm still drinking from a heavenly cup that's overflowing with the Savior.
That song was called I'm Not Giving Up by Jordan Cragen. Well, we've got some spent plants here. This is freesia, and they're kind of yellowing now. They've kind of gone to seed, and they're done for the season. So what we want to do is trim these up so that we can make the area look better for the other plants and the other bulbs that are about to come up. So while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, or start clipping this. Let's listen to my buddy, Doug Wiley, singing Up and Away. Liberty Quartet is from Boise, Idaho. And I know what some of you Boise fans are thinking. Boise State? You thinking I'm wearing this blue and orange for Boise State Broncos? No, no, no. It's a Florida Gator hat. We're the ones that originally had the blue and orange. You know, you took it from us. Ooh! Yeah, that's right. I'm calling you out, Broncos fans. Anyway, let's take a look at these flowers right here. This is the tropical flowers that I was talking about earlier, the hibiscus flower. So we've got 3 types. Now this one's called a red double dip, or some people call it a lipstick hibiscus. It's got a very bright red flower on it. This is a Seminole hibiscus, and I know I'm a Gator fan with a Seminole here, but of course, as usual, all the blooms are dead, but they'll grow back, don't worry. But it's a beautiful pink hibiscus, and that'll go really well with this butterfly hibiscus. Right over here, the yellow butterfly hibiscus. My personal favorite is the yellow. That's actually the state flower of Hawaii. So what we're going to do is plant these. Now here's the problem when the temperatures get cold in the winter, like they do here. Now it probably gets colder, a lot colder in Boise, Idaho than it does here. But anytime there's going to be freezing temperatures, it's going to kill these plants off. So what we're going to need to do is throw it in a pot. We're going to put some soil in here, and we're going to throw these in a pot. And that way, when the temperatures start to get freezing, we move the pots inside and keep them close to a window so they're getting plenty of sun. They can continue to bloom, or at least stay alive. And then once the temperatures are past freezing, we bring it back out, and it continues to grow. So instead of them being an annual flower, they become a perennial by putting them in the pot and bringing them inside during the winter. Now here's the problem. I bought these pots because they're nice and portable. Nothing says great pot like fiberglass. But when they make a fiberglass pot, they don't put holes on the bottom. So what we're going to have to do is put a hole on the couple of holes on this so that the water drains through. The last thing you want a hibiscus to have is extremely wet soil where it doesn't drain, it just gets muddy and swampy. If they don't like it, they won't survive, they won't produce the flowers that you want. So let's go ahead and take the time to drill some holes into these pots. Now, while we're doing that, I want you to listen to one of the most underrated bass singers in the country. Royce has a phenomenal bass voice. You need to hear it. We're going to feature it on this song. It's the title song of the album, God's Been Faithful.
On the mountain high, through the desert dry, He's brought me through my trials every time. God's been faithful. He's been faithful.
So we've located a spot for this particular pot. We're going to put it right behind the rock. We're going to put it next to this blue spruce that we planted last episode. We're just going to put it back here because I think it's going to draw a lot of attention as you look out of the windows, and you're going to see these nice bright pink hibiscus flowers. It's going to be beautiful. And while we do that, while I put some soil in these pots, a dripper in these pots, and the hibiscus in the pots, why don't we listen to one of the greatest endings I've ever heard, period. But this is a great song called But For a Cross.
Where would I be today but for a cross? I could not pay redemption's cost. Where would I be today but for a
So now that we've got our hibiscus plants in their pots, and we've got the water system hooked up to them so that they get plenty of water, we've got one more plant that we're going to look at that's going to give this yard a tropical feel. So here's the last plant of the episode, and this is called the Silver King Euonymus, but it's really more famous for its nickname. It's called the Burning Bush. Now this is a plant that you'll see, it's a shrub that you'll see in tropical areas, although it can stand in desert areas, really anywhere. It can take temperatures down to close to 10 degrees, maybe even 0 degrees. And so that's why it's real hardy, it looks real nice, but what I like it to put it right here for is it's going to fill this area with a nice green hedge that'll be right at the base of this queen's palm. So it'll fill it up with some green. So this will give it a nice tropical feel and a nice green feel along this fence line. And while I'm putting this in the ground right here, why don't we listen to my favorite song on the album by their tenor, Philip Baton, and it's called Peace Like a River.
A summer wind is stirring through the dogwood trees. I close my eyes and thank the Lord for peace. I've got peace like a river flowing free from the Father's throne. I've got joy, joy like a fountain. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Southern Gospel Gardener's opening act. And we've learned a lot about hibiscus plants and some tropical plants, how to make your yard look more tropical. But I really hope that you've enjoyed hearing some of Liberty Quartet's music. And if you don't have any of their music, go get it from your local Bible bookstore or from their website, libertyquartet.com, or go out and see them when they're in concert in your town. You will not be disappointed in this group, and that's a guarantee from the Southern Gospel Gardener. One more thing. Don't just work in your garden, relax in it. Just like you've got peace like a river, just like that song goes, just sit down and enjoy the peace of the landscape that you create in your yards. Southern Gospel Gardener signing off.